Hi everyone, my name is Chrissy Gow, co-founder and CEO of AccessAR.
Okay, there we go. Okay. I'm the co-founder of an AR development company up in Toronto, Canada. My co-founder Jocelyn Sevier is over here, she's our CPO. We met last summer when I was the world's oldest intern at an AR/VR development company in Toronto. She was the world's youngest creative director and producer, so obviously the natural thing was for us to run off and start our own AR development company. One thing we learned at this place was that it's incredibly hard to operate an agency model that relies on producing one-off activations for companies, and it's really difficult in Canada. People don't really understand the value of AR, and they don't want to spend money. So our goal is to build truly useful products that consumers can access at their fingertips on their mobiles. But before we get into the augmented reality aspect of our product, back in the late 90s, and I think we've got a few people in the room born before 1983, so you might be able to do this. Close your eyes, and in your fingers, imagine that you've got your favorite fashion magazine, and that you can feel that glossy, heavy weight in between your fingers. Okay. If you can't, it's okay, print's been dead for a very long time. I ask you to do this because this is how we used to shop for fashion. We looked in fashion magazines, and we went to physical retail outlets to make our purchases. This time period is significant because, for those of you that remember, the web was a very, very ugly place. One here. Okay. The web was a very ugly place. And there was a woman who changed everything with her website, net-a-porter.com. Some of you might recognize the name as the world's premier online luxury fashion destination. What she did was very simple. Essentially, she took ugly product catalog pages and wrapped them up in the pages of Vogue, providing users context and access to an aspirational lifestyle that they could buy directly from online. This format has been so successful that it's changed very little in the 17 years since she launched. The biggest innovation has been embedded videos and product pages. This is great in that it allows you to see products from all sides and to sort of better visualize how something could look on you. But that's a pretty limited in terms of interaction. We are about to undergo a paradigm shift in online retail. And it's interesting because AR/VR haters say that this technology is not going to replace physical retail because it doesn't allow you the ability to touch a product in your hands. We argue that it's not how a product feels in your hand that makes you want to buy it, rather how it makes you feel when you're trying it on that compels you to buy. And augmented reality definitely bridges that gap. The best use case we've seen is in the beauty space. Another Toronto company called Modiface was just bought by L'Oreal. They've had really successful partnerships with Sephora and other big beauty brands. So we're just beginning to scratch the surface on how consumers can interact with products online. One of the things that compelled us to start this company was the fact that we couldn't understand why no one had fully commercialized IG or Snapchat style lenses or filters. We now know why, but we didn't at the time. But the average Snapchat user spends up to 3 minutes a day interacting with a single eyewear lens. We all know that longer page views result in higher conversions. That's a lot of money being left on the table. Just last month, Facebook started testing monetized AR ads in user news feeds. We believe that's the next step towards mass consumer adoption. And Colin touched on the fact that there's 500 million AR-compatible smartphones out in the wild. By 2020, this is set to be 4.25 million. That's a lot of consumers that are going to have easy access to augmented reality-compatible hardware at their fingertips. So we've designed our first product, Wear, as barrier-free, markerless, augmented reality try-on technology for eyewear, jewelry, and watches. Our goal is to build a true-to-life shopping experience that allows our brand partners to mitigate the profit-decimating online return process. So what I mean there is that for Warby Parker to sell you one pair of glasses, they have to send you 5 pairs for free for 5 days and eat the cost of any damages incurred in the process and pay for the shipping and handling. Why are there not better solutions out there in this digital age? Essentially, it's because the first generation of this technology really sucked. Colin touched on the walled garden concept. So, a lot of eyewear brands built proprietary try-on technology, embedded it into their desktop sites. But it's a walled garden where if you can even get to the try-on experience after you've 3D modeled your head or put your face in between markers or a business card to get the scaling right, you can't do anything from there. You can't check out from the experience. So to us, it seemed like a low-hanging fruit. So just like you would on, if you were shopping on any brand site, you can select from any curated selection of styles directly on the product page. You can try on the eyewear, and you can check out directly from that experience. We built our MVP as an APK because at the time Android had the best hardware out there for us. And it seemed like we were going to have a better web-based, or more solutions to have a web-based, web-deployable product in the end. But we're currently rebuilding our product using ARKit 2.0 and for iOS 12, because it's going to solve 2 out of 3 of our biggest remaining problems. First and foremost, accurate tracking. And there's an inbuilt measuring tool, which is going to allow for true-to-life scaling when you go to and from your phone. Our end goal is a fully web-based experience, but as Colin, Anselm is going to speak about after, we're nowhere close to that yet. What we've learned along the way. So we have currently just engaged our 3rd CTO. We've spent about 27K in your money and spent 7 months building this product. What I've learned is that the R&D trap is real. So if your dev team tells you that what you want to achieve might be possible, but is going to require extensive R&D, unless they have clearly defined milestones and a really solid strategy, shut it down, because no one cares about the bottom line like you do. That leads me into project management. We went in with a lot of assumptions. One of them was that good project management is a given. If your team doesn't demonstrate an ability to leverage agile development methodologies straight out of the gate, again, shut it down, because it's unlikely they're going to be able to deliver your product on time, on budget, and on scope. And I think the most important thing we've learned is that everyone on your team has an opinion that matters. Groupthink situations can be extremely intimidating, and for us, obviously because this is a tech play, my automatic reaction was to defer to the judgment of my engineers. But they've got a singular perspective, and we've got a really well-rounded team with a lot of great ideas, and I think we could have saved ourselves some time and money if we'd worked more collaboratively. We're super proud of the team that we built at AccessAR, but diversity just isn't about optics. It's about the breadth of the opinions that are coming to the table. And I think, for me, the most important thing I've learned is that if we could all spend less time justifying our seat at the table and more time creatively collaborating, the world would be full of better solutions. At AccessAR, that's what we're trying to do. So thanks very much for having me down here.
Are there any questions? We've got plenty of time for questions.
Hello. Hi. So is your product sort of waiting for the next Apple release? Is that
Correct.
And then,
yeah.
And it'll just be Apple until Android catches up with that feature set?
Correct.
Gotcha.
Do you guys have any other products beyond wear in the pipeline in the near future, or is it you focused on eyewear, jewelry, watches?
I think we've got a big enough challenge with those 3 products alone, or with those 3 categories alone. Part of our problem with our tech team and the CTOs that we ended up parting ways with was just that. Our visions weren't aligned. It's really hard to find engineers that are interested in building fashion products. Obviously, you can take what we're doing and apply it across various different verticals. It's certainly more interesting to someone who, like is interested in mechanical engineering or BIM or whatever. So that's been our biggest struggle, is finding engineers who are interested in building really strong consumer-facing fashion products. Yeah.
How are you managing like an inventory of models for fashion products? Are they readily available to you, or?
So essentially, we are B2B2C, so we're working with brands. We offer a service where we will optimize their CAD models, making them game ready. My co-founder Jocelyn might be able to speak to that a bit better.
Hello, everyone. So yeah, a lot of the brands we're working with already have CAD models, so that's a lot easier for us to kind of go from there and make them game ready. We're going to be storing them all online in a cloud service, and that way when people are using the app, they don't have to load all the models at once, because that would be very taxing.
Excellent presentation, and I couldn't agree more. The agile methodology is very important, and that leads to good project management. So you need all those different heads and mindsets to be successful. The question that I have is, so what is your business model for the consumer? You're not going directly to the consumer, you're doing a B2B, right?
We're going B2B, so essentially we're building something that can be integrated directly into the back end of our brand partners' native applications.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. So is that just about right purchase from the brand, or is it subscription?
SaaS, yeah. We're working with a subscription-based revenue model.
Oh, excellent. Thank you.
Is there anybody else? Okay, thank you. Round of applause.